their kryptonite, the Tennessee Titans. Lamar Jackson, winless against Tennessee, winless in the playoffs. But does a new narrative begin today? He's the reigning MVP, but can he keep up with Tannehill and Derrick Henry? Get ready for a heavyweight fight. And down in New Orleans, Bears and Saints, first postseason matchup in 15 years. Drew Brees, could it be the final chance at playoff glory? 12 wins and division champs, but the clock is ticking as Khalil Mack and Chicago show up off a strong finish with the revived QB. And some strange times continue in Pittsburgh today, where the Browns show up without a head coach. Baker Mayfield makes his first playoff appearance as Big Ben makes his 22nd. Cleveland's first since 2002. A lot of history and a little bad blood between these two, and it's time to get you ready. Postseason NFL Countdown from New York City starts right now.
We ready.
The NFL playoffs are starting off.
We ready.
The whole name back.
We ready.
Let's go!
For y'all.
Do or die. Win or go home.
A lot of times you get caught up in history and all that. But at the end of the day, the goal is to win the Super Bowl, and they're in our way.
We got nothing to lose. We know everybody's overlooking us. Playoff football is about winning, and that's what's most important.
It's time right now to take the next step on our journey.
I still have it in the tank. I still want to win Lombardies.
Y'all want to be great? Be great. The Cleveland Browns have made it into the NFL playoffs in 18 years.
Everybody sit back. Grab your popcorn.
Let's put on a show.
Great cash, homie.
Welcome to Postseason NFL Countdown, presented by Subway.
Super Wildcard Weekend continues with 3 more matchups today. It starts with the rematch of the Ravens at the Titans in Nashville. Then at 4:40, the Bears travel to play the Saints. And finally tonight, the Browns face the Steelers in Pittsburgh. A rematch of, well, last week. Should be interesting. Unusual times, but some monster matchups today. 2 in the AFC, 1 in the NFC. Hello and welcome to postseason NFL Countdown. We've made it. I'm Sam Ponder with Randy Moss, Rex Ryan, Teddy Bruschi, and Matt Hasselbeck. A lot to talk about today, but let's start with what we saw last night. Because it was interesting, to say the least, in Washington at FedEx Field. Bucks against the Washington football team. Really, the story of the day leading up to this was that Alex Smith would be inactive in this one. That would give Taylor Heineke the start against Tom Brady in his first time in the playoffs as a Buck. And Randy, he started off with the guy you thought he'd go to, AB.
Man, he got this man some straight cash, homie, at the end of regular season with some incentives, but the fire keeps burning. I love the chemistry between Antonio Brown and Tom Brady. Keep it going, fellas.
It would be an incredible night for this guy, a former ODU Monarch. Taylor Heineke making the start under pressure, avoids the blitz, scrambles right, and picks up a first down, gets out of bounds. It's coming out party of sorts for Taylor, who had spent some time with Scott Turner before. And then J.D. McKissick up the middle for the touchdown, and Washington would be down by just 2. So the next drive for Tom Brady, Rex, over the middle to Chris Godwin, who had 4 drops yesterday, but this one was huge.
Yeah, it was a great pass again by Brady. Chase Young, where you at, man? You wanted Brady? You can't get there. And it allows Chris Godwin to do what he does over Ronald Darby for a touchdown. Pitch and catch, Tom Brady.
So let's go to the third quarter. Washington down 18-10. Heineke again showing what he can do outside the pocket, runs to his left, and the dive for the pylon here. You had to know he wanted it. Touchdown, and Matt, that was a pretty impressive effort.
It really was. Alex Smith couldn't go because he didn't have the mobility. Heineke gave him that. He was also great as a passer, and this effort here is when Washington started to believe they had a chance. Unfortunately, he might have gotten hurt on this play as well.
Still, he's a gamer. He's a gamer. Hasselbeck, he got it done.
So they couldn't convert the 2-point attempt after that, though. So we move on to the fourth quarter. Bucks up 21-16. And Brady here is going to get the ball to Mike Evans inside the 5. So the Bucs are driving. They get down to the 3-yard line. And then we go 2 plays later. Who do they give it to when they need somebody right up the middle? Leonard Fournette, and the Bucs go up 28-16. But there's still time for Taylor Heineke. Ensuing drive for Washington, under 5 minutes left, and he gets it to Steve Sims Jr. Teddy, is he in?
No, he's not in, right? No, this guy, no, Tom said,
Brady said no.
This guy,
It's a different rule book for Tom Brady.
This guy can make this throw like, yes, he can. Look at that. Gets the feet in. Heineke was a gamer all day long. Impressive playoff performance.
Brady never gets any break.
Down by, poor guy, down by 5. Heineke blitz, and he's sacked by Levante David. Couldn't convert on the 4th and 21, and the Bucs would take over. Here's Tom Brady after his first playoff win as a Buc.
Well, I mean, if you could win 100-0, and it's going to be the same result in the end. So, you'd love to play great every game. I think it's good to win and advance. And if we don't play well next week, we're not gonna be happy.
There are a couple things that we wish would have gone our way, and unfortunately it didn't. But we had our moments, and it's too bad because we were going up against one of the all-time greats.
I think it was the biggest storyline of the week, just because one guy says, I want Tom, all of a sudden they got a great front. And our guys took it to heart. They were going to block him. And, I thought we blocked him really, really well. So, no, they didn't scare us.
Didn't scare him. I will say maybe the story of the day in a losing effort was Taylor Heineke. I mean, that seemed to come out of nowhere. But let's talk about the Bucs. After what we saw last night, Teddy, it's been a very up and down year for them. Do you feel like you saw enough from them yesterday to believe this could be a Super Bowl team?
Yeah, absolutely. What I saw was actually no adjustment to the opponent that they were going up against. We talk about all week about Sweat and Young and that rush, and there was going to be an adjustment in terms of how quickly Tom gets rid of the football. No, you heard Bruce Arians is like, no, our tackles like Wirfs and Smith took it to heart. We're going to block them, and we're still going down the field on you. AB, Godwin, all those guys, we don't care. We're still going down the field, and they did it. So Brady Hasselbeck, still the quarterback that's dropped back there, showed great movement in the pocket, threatened him down the field.
Yeah, he did, and I'll tell you this, too. We talked about this was going to be a work-in-progress offense. Tom Brady talked about his practice habits, no OTAs, He said, listen, we're going to click at the right time. Might be middle of the season, might be end of the season. I think this passing game is clicking now. This is the point where we've seen it these last few weeks, and don't sleep on Cameron Brate, okay? Every quarterback seems to have their guy. It's like their security blanket. They trust him. They're always doing the right thing. Cameron Brate was the leading receiver for much of that game last night. He's coming on when they've got enough weapons to go around, but Cam Brate's certainly one of them.
All right, so there's no concern with Tampa Bay. I'm concerned. All right. And you made that Heineke look like Doug Flutie. He really did. I mean, he really did look like Doug Flutie. But I'm concerned there. I mean, that defense played so poorly.